So when I was in my 30s, a long-term relationship ended and my life was turned upside down. And it took me a couple of years to come out of the shock of that. I didn't really have any tools that helped me at the time. And by the time I was 33, I started getting involved with personal development in different courses, and I started reading everything I could on, recovering from a broken heart and just really trying to get my life back on track. I can say that I have spent a fortune in time and money and energy on personal development. I've bought the books, I've listened to the audios, I've taken so many workshops and trainings, and I'm grateful for all of it. Don't get me wrong, I love this world. I love being a coach. But why I wrote this book was that I found that something was missing for me, and I also noticed it in most of my clients. And what that was the ability to create sustainable change. So you know how you read something or you go to a workshop and you might leave a 2-day workshop and you're like, oh my God, that was amazing. I just had the best breakthrough. And then a couple weeks go by and you're like, what did I get out of that program? I don't remember. And maybe if you're like me, you wrote notes, but do you ever really go back and look at those notes? So there's this frustration. We spend all this time and money and energy on changing our lives. We want to change for the better so that we can live more fully, more from our hearts. We can access our soul's desire, because isn't that what we're here for? And there's this frustration because we're not changing the way we want. And maybe we change for a while and then something happens and we're right back where we started. And so there's this endless loop of self-recrimination, and maybe the next course will fix me. And after so many years of coaching and going through it myself, I just thought, no, there's got to be something else. And I started to do some research on how the brain works and how can we use the way our brain already works to help us change with more ease, with more long-term effectiveness, instead of this hit and miss roller coaster of personal growth. And that's how I came up with this idea of the 100-day promise. So again, if you're like me and my clients, you're probably so good at creating or making a promise to a friend, someone you love, and you will do whatever it takes to keep that promise. And yet, think about the promises that you've made to yourself. What happens to those promises? Most of us don't keep those promises. And so the program that I created, and now the book, is really about learning day by day, over 100 days, how to start keeping promises to yourself. And small steps taken consistently over time are life-changing. I think we think it's those big breakthroughs at the weekend workshops. It's not. It's the small steps that you do every day. Wake up, go to bed, and what you're doing in between, all the little things that you could do to keep that promise day by day. That's what changes your thoughts, your feelings, and ultimately how you're living your life. And that's why I wrote the book.
I am so excited we are publishing Sandi's book because she is truly committed to working with people who are ready for change. This isn't about exploring or thinking about making change, but it's actually the brass tacks of how you get things done. And I love her commitment to action, and I know you're going to love this book.